All right, this is Brother Issachar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned is true from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word to the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Aquawath that's listening and learning. Today's topic is going to be entitled, Blessed is he that readeth, or Knowledge is power. It's going to be one of those. And, it's going to be a pretty basic lesson. I was inspired to do this lesson because, just looking at a few brothers' videos and everything like that. And it's beautiful seeing the new people waking up and everything like that. Because as we all know, the more and more people that wakes up, that's the closer and closer we're getting to the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America in the scriptures. And that's the closer we're getting to our salvation. OK. And that's what we're looking forward to. The scriptures say to endure all things for the elect's sake. So at the end of the day, we got to bring out this word so then we can wake up the elect. But one of the main things, though, is when you come into this truth, you have to start digging into these scriptures for yourself after a certain amount of time. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking questions or anything like that. It's so you can get a better understanding of certain scriptures and everything like that. But at the same time, you have to start reading and digging into these scriptures for yourself, because like the scriptures say, let every man be persuaded within his own mind. So you can't just come into this truth and then just listen to a brother and then just automatically believe him and then be like, yep, he's telling the truth and everything like that. No, man, you got to be like, okay, this is what they said. Now let me see if this is true too. Okay. You start digging into the scriptures, you start reading, you start digging into the definitions of words, get into the Hebrew, get into the Greek, you start doing these different things. So then you can become a doer of the word as well. Because at the end of the day, man, the scriptures tell you to get your sword sharp so then you can be prepared for whatever questions and everything like that somebody may have. And then, you can break it down to them. And then you can give them the understanding just like you receive the understanding. And then after that, all you do is just you build yourself up and then you bring somebody else in and then they can start being built up. And it's pretty much a full circle. It's a full circle, man. This is a well-oiled machine. All right. So then, at the end of the day, this is what we're doing it for. We're building up the house of David. We're trying to get up out of here. So, at a certain time, you're going to have to get into these scriptures for yourself. Point blank, period, man. And, and that's a beautiful thing, because when you get into these scriptures for yourself, then you start to find yourself. OK, you start to understand what your office is, because you might find out that you are a better historian. You might be a person that's good into history, and then you bring out all the history and connect it with scriptures. You might be a great exhortation person. You might be a precept master and everything like that. You don't know what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, what talent he's going to give you. But the only way you can figure out that talent and discover that talent is you have to read, man. You got to get into these scriptures and start understanding what they are for yourself. That's why the scriptures say sacrifice, make your body a living sacrifice and everything like that, because you got to get into this word a lot more, because, you got to sacrifice your free time. Once you get into this truth, man, the world doesn't matter anymore. You got to start getting into this truth, man. This is all that matters at the end of the day. So let's get on the first scripture. Let's get Revelation chapter 1 and 3. And it says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. The time is at hand. Of course, when you go into this scripture, this is speaking about, the prophecy that's happening within the book of Revelation and everything like that. But you can apply this scripture to the whole book, the whole Bible. OK, because blessed is he that readeth. OK. Because once you understand these scriptures, now you understand not just the book of Revelation, but you understand the books of Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Daniel and so forth and so on, with these prophetic scriptures within them. OK, then you can start telling people what's getting ready to happen, man, because, the downfall of America, the destruction of America is within the whole Bible. Old Testament, Apocrypha, and New Testament is everywhere. Now you can start connecting these pieces because that's all the scriptures is. It's a big puzzle. That's why, that's one of the reasons why Yahweh Shai spoke in parables. So then, the people who come across it, they can understand the mysteries. And that's another beautiful thing, man, because if you come in these scriptures and you actually understand it, blessed are your eyes for they see, and blessed are your ears because they hear. And that should be actually make you more excited to bring the word out, because now you have a deeper knowledge than other people. Now, you're not supposed to go out there and boast and brag about the knowledge that you have, but at the end of the day, it's nothing wrong with telling somebody, the correct doctrine. Okay? There's nothing wrong with going out there and telling people what it really is, so then they can come into the fold. And that's the whole thing, man. So, hey, the time is at hand, we got to get into these scriptures for yourself so you can make your election sure. Because at the end of the day, we can't live your life for you. We can't do anything for you. The only thing that we can do is just tell you what it is, teach you what it is. And then after that, you got to work out your own salvation. You got to do what's necessary for yourself. Because, we're trying to build a body and we have a brotherhood and everything like that. But at the end of the day, this is an every man for himself game. And, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. So this is 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So, this scripture is pretty much to the point. You got to study. You got to get into words. You got to get into the definition of words. You got to get into the Hebrew. You got to get into the Greek, because as we all know, you can't just read certain scriptures and just be literal. There's a lot of scriptures you can read and it is plain as day, but then there are a lot of other scriptures that's not as plain as day. So you have to get those understandings, man. This is a thing that you have to marinate in and day out. As soon as you realize you have some free time, you should automatically be like, okay, I got to read. I got to look at some brothers' videos, or I got to do whatever I got to do to make my sword sharp. Because, if you're really interested within this word and the spirit is working within you, hey, man, don't fight it. Just let everything happen. Let everything happen naturally, man. Let the Most High guide you. And then next thing you know, after a few months or so, you'll have a lot more knowledge than a lot of people that has been going to these regular churches have, because, man, it's videos everywhere. It's videos everywhere. You can learn this word and the most important scriptures and the certain breakdowns of scriptures so fast now, man, because the YouTube is flooded with videos. YouTube is flooded with videos. Google is flooded with information. And then you might know people personally who you can just call or text or whatever and ask for understandings of the scriptures. And that's a beautiful thing, man. And once you like I said, once you get those understandings, now you write it down in your notes and you study and you do what's necessary, man. And that's, like I said, that's a beautiful thing within itself. So we're going to get James. We'll get James 1:20. James 1:20, and it says, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looking into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. And studying these scriptures and reading these scriptures and everything like that is work. Just like when you were in school, in the world and everything like that, that was work. You had to get up at a certain amount of time, at a certain time. Then you had to go to class and everything. You had to be quiet, listen to the teacher speak and everything like that, and learn whatever it is you were learning within school. And then you had to go back home. And then what did they give you? Homework. Okay? They gave you homework. You had to study that homework, finish that homework and everything like that. So then you could be ready for big tests out the year and quizzes, pop quizzes, or whatever the case may be. And then, you got good grades and so forth and so on. It's the same thing applies with this truth. Okay. This is work. At the end of the day, you got to put time out from the things of the world. You got to say, okay, I ain't got time to play my Xbox. I don't have time to watch the basketball game or whatever the case may be. I got to open this book and I got to study. So then, because this is what's most important. Because if you do this work, the man shall be blessed when at the end of his deed. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shaka look at you and be like, okay, he's been diligent. He's been sincere. He or she really wants to be saved. They're taking time out of their day for me. And that's what we're supposed to do, man. We're supposed to take time out of our day for Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Like I said, we can't just be hearers of the word. We got to be doers of the word. Because, like I said, in verse 24, it says, for he beholding himself. Let me start with 23 again. It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Okay, so there's a man looking in the mirror. Okay, and he knows his knowledge and everything like that, and he looking within his spirit while he's looking in the mirror and everything. He's thinking about everything that he has learned, everything he has done within his truth, right? And verse 24 it says, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. He straight up forgot everything that he learned. He forgot what type of person that he was when he was in his truth, or while he was in the truth and everything like that. And he went right back into doing whatever he was doing when he was in the world. Why? Because he had this knowledge, but he didn't put in the work, so then he could have his spirit rooted and grounded within his knowledge, man. Okay? So at the end of the day, like I said, you can't just look at brothers' videos and then it's being like, okay, yeah, I'm in the truth. I know this and I know that or whatever. Nah, man, now it's your turn. It's your turn. Like I said, we trying to build up the body, man. We trying to get up out of here. So you got to find a way to make it work. You know when you have free time. You know when you have certain time to do whatever it is that you need to do. Just like when people say, oh, I'm too busy to go to the gym. I'm too busy to do this. I'm too busy to do that. But then you'll find them like on Facebook, posting, sharing or whatever. And a lot of them will be on social media for hours. Be like, man, you was just on your phone for the past like 1 or 2 hours. What's going on? Be like, well, no, I'm still busy. Like, nah. Jake like to make excuses. Ain't no excuses, man. Either you gonna be in this thing or you not. So, don't forget what type of man you was. Don't just be like, yeah, I have this knowledge, but then as soon as you leave the house, you don't be about it. That's going to get you destroyed, man. And you don't want that, man. We don't want to be destroyed. This is why we putting in this work right now. Because we have a fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 11. And it says, the words of the wise are as golds, and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further, by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Now I want to bring this down. Let me read verse 12 again. And it says, and further, by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Now, we always push to stay on fire and within this truth, stay hot and everything like that, and keep doing what you got to do for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which you should do, because like it says in Revelation, when Yahweh Shai looks upon the house of Israel, he's going to look at the ones who were cold, he's going to look at the ones who were hot, and he's going to look at the ones that was lukewarm. The cold represents the 2/3 who just didn't even want to be a part of this truth. So he's going to destroy them. The lukewarm represents what I just read back in James, the ones that look in the mirror and they have the understanding of this truth and everything like that, but they don't really be about it. So they're lukewarm. And like the scriptures say, he's going to spew them out of his mouth. He's going to destroy them too. And the hot represents the ones who are just in this truth, who meditates within this truth, who bring out videos left and right, who study, who do what's necessary for their salvation. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to save those type of people. Okay. But at the end of the day, yes, we want you to stay on fire, but you have to have a balance. Okay. I remember Apostle Ramla was speaking about this a while ago, and he was like, man, it's only so much studying you can do within one day. You got to have a balance within this thing, because you don't want to overload your brain just because you came into this knowledge, man. You got to have a balance. You got to make sure that you are always refreshed, and you got to make sure you're always ready to go. Because just like if you work overtime at a job or whatever, you might do it just so you can get that extra money and everything like that. But then there's going to be a certain amount of time where your body's going to feel worn out. You're going to feel burnt out, and you might just pass out of nowhere. And you've been working for like 20 hours plus or whatever the case may be, just so you can make sure you have a fat paycheck. You know, it's the same way with this truth. Yeah, we want to, receive salvation. We want to be part of the first resurrection. We want to be beamed up to the chariots and see this place destroyed, because we don't want to be within it. But at the end of the day, you got to have a balance. Give yourself, especially if you new, man, don't overload yourself at all. Don't overload yourself. Really just take in the basics. And then once you really feel like, you have the basics down packed, then go into the meat scriptures, go into the things that's a little bit deeper. But, don't overload your brain, because then that'll get you to the point where, like I said, you'll burn yourself out, or you'll start to boast and brag, which is definitely going against the scriptures. You're not supposed to be boasting and bragging about anything, because we're nothing, man. We're nothing. We didn't know about this truth until the apostles came on YouTube. Okay. So at the end of the day, we are nothing. Even Yahushua said it. There's none good but one. And that one is the Most High, Yahweh. So at the end of the day, you give yourself a balance, give yourself some breathing room at times. And then after that, man, once got some rest, you did what you had to do as far as, fulfilling your pleasures a little bit, as far as, like I said, being with your woman or your husband, or having a drink or two, just relaxing a little bit, enjoying yourself, watching the game, whatever the case, whatever you do that relaxes you. Once you've done that for a certain amount of time, and then you realize you did that enough, then okay, cool. Now you had the rest. Now you can go right back into the scriptures and do what you got to do. That's always remember, it's a balance within this thing, man. Don't overload yourself. Don't don't try to be the ultra Israelite. The scriptures speak about over righteous Israelites, man. Ain't nobody out here trying to be an ultra Israelite. We're just trying to make sure we maintain the spirit and this understanding. So then when the time of trouble comes, knowledge and wisdom can be the stability of our times, like the scriptures say. Okay. So this is Isaiah 28:10. It says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they will not hear. But the word of the Lord was unto them, Salakia, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. So pretty much when you read these scriptures, you can't just open up a book and then read the whole book and just expect that book just to be connected with within itself. Okay. Like Elder Manasseh Cubans from South Carolina always say, he was like, man, this is the Bible is a big puzzle. So, you got to put certain scriptures together within other books. Okay. Kind of like what I just did with the James 1:20. James 1:20 was speaking about, a man looking into the mirror. And then once he walked away from that mirror, then he pretty much, was just pretty much accepted himself to be a hearer of the word. And what does that equal? That equals him being lukewarm. So then, what scripture come to mind with the lukewarm? Like I said, then you go to Revelation. You be like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like this scripture, and that's how you put certain things together. You can't just read a whole book and then it's be like, yep, this is what this book is talking about. Because especially if you go to Revelation jumps all over the place. Revelation talks about ancient Rome, then it speaks about America, then it speaks about World War I, then it speaks about World War III, then it speaks about the kingdom that's coming, then it speaks about Yahushua and the angels fighting Esau within the last days. It jumps everywhere. So when you read those type of books, you be like, nah, this is a little bit of everything, man. You got to get certain understandings from other books. You get the answers to your questions from other books. That's what it is, man. You know, that's why it says line upon line, here a little and there a little. You know, you read a little bit here, then you be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit there, and then everything will come together as a whole at the end of the day. So that's one of the things that you always got to keep in the back of your mind as well. That's why we say, you know, definitely make sure you have like a notebook or something like that to write down these scriptures. So then, you know, you can have like categories. Okay, this is talking about America. Okay, this is talking about Rome. Okay, this is talking about the Israelites being saved only. You know, things like that, man. You know, and then, like I said, for instance, you know, you can go in Matthew and Yahushua would say, you know, rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know, that's one clue letting you know that the Most High is only here to save Israelites, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Then you can go to Amos, where it says, you only have I known out of all the families of the earth. And that's another precept to let you know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is only here to save the Israelites. Like I said, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So that's how you got to do it, man. And then, you know, once you conquer that, things will be a little bit easier for you. It'll definitely be easier, you know. And you definitely feel like a beast too. You feel like a beast at the end of the day because you be like, oh yeah, hold on, man, let me get this scripture. You flipping pages, or you get your phone and you go to these certain books and everything like that because you know where they are. It makes you feel like a beast, man. And that's what you're supposed to be, man. You're supposed to be a warrior for Yahweh B'Shem and Yahweh Shah. You know, this is a beautiful thing that you have entered into, man. The Most High bless you. He's called you into this thing. So, hey, be happy because he called you. So he might select you as a chosen. So this is Hebrews 4:11. It says, let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints of and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. All right, so you come into this truth and you bring it out, man. It is definitely very powerful, man. People feel this truth when they walk past, especially, you know, you're in a camp and everything like that. People know what this is about. Because at the end of the day, the world knows that what we're bringing out is the truth. There's a lot of people that acknowledge it. There's a lot of people that don't. And, you know, the people that don't, especially the heathen nations, man, when you bring this word to them, man, you know, they don't want to hear it. It definitely hits them within the spirit hard because they're learning that their future is slavery and destruction. OK, they don't want to hear that. They've been on top for so long. And now they hearing this come from the people that's been at the bottom for the longest. They're going to get upset, man. But hey, at the end of the day, we have this word to protect us. We have Yahweh B'Shem to protect us from the wiles of the devil, man. So we not worried about them, man. We already know what's coming for us. And that's salvation, Yahweh Ratazah. This is verse 13. It says, neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, let us hold fast our profession. See, what is, hold on, let me keep reading. It says, for we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Let us come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. So what does it mean to hold fast our profession? It means hold this knowledge with fast, man. You know, keep this knowledge with a tight grip, with a ninja grip, man. You know, you're supposed to be within this thing, and you're supposed to just run with it, man. You grab this thing and you run with it. You keep a tight grip on it, man. You always make sure that you have it in the back of your mind, man, because once you lose it, man, that's a very scary thing, man. And, you know, why do they call this a profession? Because this is a thing that we have learned. This is a thing that we have studied. This is a thing that we have built our spirit within, okay? It's like when you go to college and everything like that, you find this one thing that you want to excel at, right? So that's your profession now. And what do? You learn everything about that position. So then you could be worthy to find that job within that thing that you have studied. So this is our profession, man. So we come into this thing and we study and we do what's necessary for what? So we can be in the kingdom of heaven, man. So then we can get the new body, because Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, he's going to save his elect, the ones that was in this thing diligently, always trying to seek salvation, always doing what is necessary for salvation. Okay. This is what, our profession is, man. Because at the end of the day, the first fruits, the 144,000, they're going to be the men and the judges of the earth. That's what we're working towards. We're trying to be part of the 144,000. We're trying to be part of the elect. Those men are going to judge the house of Israel, man. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai is going to hire those men to be part of the governing body of Israel, man. So this is what we're working toward. This is our profession, man. We're trying to be saved from the first time around. So if we're trying to reach that profession, that means we have to study, we have to get into this book, and we have to do what's necessary for us to reach that salvation and that time being within the future. Okay? So you have to, like I said, you got to be in this diligently. You got to be in this for yourself. You can't just do this thing, man. You can't just come across this thing and just be like, that's enough. Always seek more. Always seek more. Even the scriptures say that, man. You never say that you have enough. You always can receive more. You always can do better. There's no limit to the spirits of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. So I'm going to get one more scripture, then I'm going to close it. This is Ephesians 6 and 10. And it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. That's what I was saying earlier. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? Most High knows that when you come into this truth, you're gonna have time, you're gonna have trouble from time to time. Things might happen within your daily life where you just be like, now I gotta, do this work and everything like that. And you just kind of just want to just be to yourself or whatever the case may be, because these demons are going to try to attack you to get you from doing what you're supposed to do for the Lord. But at the end of the day, you got to put on the whole armor of the Most High. You got to remember what's at hand. That's why the scriptures say to watch as well. You look at what's going on in the news and everything like that, and you see this place is crumbling right before your eyes. That should be a fear to you, not a fear of this place going down as if you're going to be destroyed, but you should have that fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because he could put you in the midst of this destruction. Why? Because you didn't put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You let this world get to you. That's why it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So you got to, remember at all times, like, hey, man, I already know I'm going to go through certain things within my life, but I ain't going to let this get me out or take me out of the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I'm going to open this book and I'm going to read, man. I'm going to open this book, I'm going to read, I'm going to study, and I'm going to do what I need to do, man. Upload videos and do everything that's necessary, so then me and the hopeful elect out there can be saved. Not saying that you are part of the elect. I always say that you are part of the hopeful elect, because that's for the simple fact that you are trying. All right. So verse 13, it says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand within the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on a breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So that's what it is, man. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Look at the prophets of old as examples. Look at the prophets of today as examples. Okay. Look at the apostles that we learned from. Look at the brothers that you have learned from, and see how they carry themselves and everything like that. And then next thing you know, once you build yourself up within a certain manner, then now you can be an example to the newer people that's coming in, and everybody can just stand within their own 2 feet, man, because that's what we're doing, man. We're trying to uplift our people at the end of the day so we can be saved. But like I said, in order for you to do that, you got to study, man. You got to read, because you could tell people that you know about this truth and everything like that, but if you can't answer questions, if you can't be If you can't get into certain scriptures and you can't break it down to them, and everything like that, guess what? They're not going to believe you. So then they're going to leave you alone. And then they're going to be like, damn, you're going to be like, damn, man, I just lost somebody. It looked like they were listening, but just for the simple fact that I didn't know certain things, they left because you wasn't ready, But at the end of the day, you never know what the situation may be. And the Most High might, probably didn't want to deal with them, but he can still work with you. You never know what the situation is, but you never want to think of it like that, as if, he just wasn't dealing with that person, always had that fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, like, yeah, I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. There's always room, man. There's always room. So never keep yourself at a certain level. Always make sure you're trying to excel, man, because, hey, that's what we're trying to do. We are trying to excel. We trying to get beamed up. We trying to get up out of here, man. We ain't trying to stay down here and witness the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. We trying to escape it. So one of the ways you can escape it is by reading, man. So hopefully this is edifying. So with that, I'm gonna say call Halayim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, which I learned is true from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word to the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akwath that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazah, I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasharallah. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.